فقال يا أبا هريرة. The Prophet said, "O Abu Hurairah, وأعطاني نعلي." The Prophet then gave him his footwear, the sandals he was wearing. So the Prophet gave me his footwear, and he said, "Oh Abu Hurairah, idhab bin alayya hatain." Abu Hurairah, take this footwear, take it with you. فَمَنْ لَقِيَكَ مِنْ وَرَاءِ هَذَا الْحَائِطِ يَشْهَدُ أَنْ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهُ مُسْتَيْقِنًا بِهَا قَلْبًا فَبَشِّرْهُ بِالْجَنَّةِ. Take this footwear, take my footwear, and go. Whoever meets you outside this garden, that they testify with the depths of the heart, with ikhlas and sincerity, that there is none worthy of worship but Allah, give him the glad tidings of Jannat. So Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, he goes. And as soon as he leaves, what happens is, he says, فَكَانَ أَوَّلَ مَنْ لَقِيتُ عُمَرَ. So I went out of the wall boundary. Is there anybody there? I see Umar, because they were also behind me. Umar is the first person to see me. Now Umar is a big guy. He was about 8 foot. Hazrat Abu Hurairah was a weak person. From Ashab Sufa, Ajib. Abu Hurairah didn't even find food to eat, my dear brothers. Abu Hurairah was from the Sufa. So you can imagine his weakness, and Umar is a big man, 8 foot. So Hazrat Abu Hurairah says, فَكَانَ أَوَّلَ مَنْ لَقِيتُ عُمَرَ. Hazrat Umar was the first one to see me. Umar saw the footwear in my hand. He said, Abu Hurairah, ma hatani na'lan. What are you doing with this footwear? What's this in your hand? What are you doing with this footwear? Whose shoes are they? Abu Hurairah said, Hatani na'la Rasulillahi sallam. These are the shoes of Rasul alayhi salatu salam. Ba'athani bihima. He sent me with these shoes. So whosoever I meet, testifying there is none worthy of worship but Allah, I would give him the glad tidings of Jannah. Now what happens? Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu, when he is told that these are the footwear of Rasul alayhi salatu salam, and Abu Hurairah is there to give the glad tidings, what does Hazrat Umar do? What is his response? فَضَرَبَ عُمَرُ بَيْنَ ثَجَّيَّ فَخَرَرْتُ لِإِسْتِي. Hazrat Abu Hurairah says, as soon as I gave this information to Hazrat Umar, he pushed me away. I fell on my back. He pushed me away. Hazrat Umar was a big person. He had quwwah and energy. Abu Hurairah was very weak. So obviously, not that he must have pushed him very hard, slightly pushed him because of his strength and Abu Hurairah's weakness. Abu Hurairah says, فَقَرَرْتُ لِإِسْتِي. I fell on my buttocks. I fell on my back, on my buttocks. And he said to me, Irji Abu Hurairah. Abu Hurairah, go back. You don't need to give such a glad tidings to the people. Abu Hurairah says, فَرَجَعْتُ إِلَى رَسُولِ عَلِيهِ. I went back to the Prophet, and do it quickly. فَأَجْهَشْتُ بِالْبُكَاءِ. I went to the Prophet, I started crying. And Hazrat Umar is also coming behind me now. The Prophet said to Abu Hurairah, why are you crying for? He says, O Prophet of Allah, I met Umar, I told him what you told me to tell everybody of giving them the glad tidings of Jannah. As soon as I gave Hazrat Umar the glad tidings, he hit me such a hit and he pushed me in such a manner, I fell on my buttocks and he told me to return back. Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, Hazrat Umar had already come now. The Prophet said, Oh Umar, why did you do this to Abu Hurairah? Why did you do this to Abu Hurairah? Hazrat Umar said, Ya Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, may my parents be sacrificed over you. Did you really send Abu Hurairah with your footwear, that whoever he meets, testifying that none is worthy of worship but Allah, with ikhlas, he gives him the glad tidings of Jannah? The Prophet said, yes. Hazrat Umar said, Falat, oh Prophet, don't do this. Don't do this. Why? Because I fear people will just rely on the kalima and let go of the a'mal. People will just sit on the kalima and they will let go of a'mali salihah. So they will think, I'm reading the kalima, it's fine, I'll go into Jannat. So they'll forget the namaz, they'll forget the other ma'amulat, they'll forget the mu'amalat and the mu'asharat and the akhlaqiyat.